Game number 2 between Secret and IG. Waiting to find out if IG can bring, again, what you guys have been mentioning. Maybe that could go something that brings that early aggression, that secures them those early kills to snowball the game into their favor. We'll find out. The Naga being banned out right away by IG, though. And they do have first pick this time.
Let's see if Secret are up for letting through the Lesh. So far, 100% win rate. Both times it's been played support,
right?
Which is actually interesting. It was played support by LGD because they got mega counterpicked on core Lesh, so they were just like, okay, we'll support. And the other one was in the wildcard round played by Vega against Archon.
Yeah, I want to say it was Vega.
It was the Ursa game.
Yep.
And I think
so
mainly like
available.
teams coming in this event, they feel like, okay, Lash Rock is something that everyone's going to be looking at. So everyone's thinking, maybe you take that and some team is going to have like tons of way to counter it. So
It's true.
a good solution would be to just make sure that it goes to the support position. Then it mitigates a lot of that idea.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, at this point, because so many people are expecting it, it's actually another different mind game of, hey, if we pick it, is it going to be core support? We've already had 2 support games like you guys mentioned. Definitely something to consider now. This is the moment to Secret let it through. Now, if Secret lets it through, do you think they will also be in a position where they'll be like, we're just going to hard counter it and then assume that it's support, or will they actually try to wait and see?
They will definitely not pick like Cloud9 did. I think, they just went way overboard on it. And it was still incredible how well Cloud9 did in that game. As we talked about, they actually drew it on to 66 minutes with so many heroes, which, you know, we're maybe not giving them enough credit for the synergy between the lineup Cloud9 had in that game, but to me it seemed like it was a little bit too much of one thing.
How about this, Sin? You just pick one hero that counters it. Like you don't build a lineup that counters the specific hero. Like maybe you just pick Nyx just to deal with Lash.
Nyx is decent.
If the Lash is like support, Nyx is still decent against it.
Right.
And if it's a core, obviously it's better because of mana burn.
Or you just ban it.
Yeah. Oh, the Viper got... I mean, well, the Viper's always been kind of a second phase ban for...
against the Quap most of the time. Because if you pick Quap and you don't leave Viper... I mean, if you leave Viper in the pool after, like generally the opposing team would try to pick Viper against Quap.
Yeah, so Secret, one of the first teams we're seeing, at least here on the mainstream, to secure that right away after seeing Quap. I mean, in general, I guess we haven't seen Quap really either.
They banned it as well. Like the last game, when they picked Quap, they banned Viper in the second phase. Yeah, so it shows you the mentality of the team. You know, they don't want Viper against Quap, and when they pick it, they try to make sure that it doesn't happen to them as well.
And it seems this pairing of cores for Secret is one they like to go to, the Gyro plus Viper. They've used it multiple times before. I guess the idea is that Viper is a very tanky frontliner, so Viper forces a fight to happen where the enemy team has to engage onto itself, and then that sets up for a really easy call down, some good flat cannon burst, and just generally draws attention to itself across the game so that the Gyro can get farm. And
it's also lane dominator.
Yeah, lane dominator, and it's less farm dependent too. So Gyro can take the whole map, and it's okay because the mid laner doesn't need to get a lot of items. So I like that pair.
Generally, they pair Zai into a team fight composition hero when they have Viper and Gyro, like Darkseer. So they have a lot of combination play available if they go down that route again.
All right. IG, meanwhile, securing Razor before we go into the second phase of the ban.
So IG themselves have good lanes. Like Razor and Quap are known for being good at lanes as well. So like both sides with the first 4 picks are prioritizing heavily on having good lanes and having a good early game. You know, that's generally a good thing for IG. You know, being aggressive early and having good lanes. Having good lanes means that your support can roam a lot.
There you go. Yes, and that's what we've been talking about. You guys have been mentioning that's what we want to see from IG, to see if they can change the pace a little bit, put some pressure on Secret rather.
Yeah, last game I feel like they really didn't have too much kill potential in the lanes. And that's
it was Zeus and Bloodseeker. Yeah, the other 2 lanes. So Bloodseeker is like you can only roll maybe if he reaches 6 or a potential dive happens to Bloodseeker and you TP in. Otherwise, it's really hard to get early kills when you have Bloodseeker as a mid hero.
Yeah, and I mean, especially against the Queen of Pain. And of course, the support duo having to do something with that. But as you said, Chuan having a lot more success. He's known for his Enchantress as well as his Sand King, I think, is one of his best heroes. It wasn't the greatest pick last game because Tombstone is very difficult to fight into as a Blink hero. But in general, I think that those type of heroes are the ones that he's best with, and you know, he like sets up the foundation because burning doesn't actually move as much as most other carries. So
yeah, if you compare it to, remember the game Sylar was Gyro?
Yeah,
he TP'd in when he didn't even have mana for ulti, just one Rocket Barrage, but he TP'd in and he got 2 kills. Like you would see that less from burning.
Right. All right, Dazzle also being taken out, and Darkseer being banned out by Secret.
Yeah, that's not expected. I thought they were actually going to go for it, but it might actually mean they want something else. They might want something like a hard lockdown for the co-op, or something that can do better against co-op. I'm not sure what at this point. What else does he play? They can do well against co-op and Razor. Like, there's still Clock. Clock and Gyro work well together, but it's not very good at killing Queen of Pain. It's decent against Razor.
It's always Nyx, I think. So. But
I'm still trying to understand why they banned the Darkseer.
But I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure why.
It's
weird.
Very uncharacteristic.
Like usually you ban it if the opponent has some superior combo. Like you see from the first two picks that they have something that has very huge implications with the vacuum. Otherwise, you don't actually ban it.
Yeah, because I mean it's a very combo dependent hero. So
it's possible that they want to get rid of it because they don't want to have a support commit as much to annoying the Darkseer out of lane. He's a very self-sufficient offlaner and can actually get a lot if you don't constantly pay attention to him. And even if you don't, or even if you do rather, you still have to deal with the Ion Shell. So maybe this is a way for Secret to be like, okay, we just want to open up our supports. We don't want to deal with that offlaner. We want to have a lane where Gyro can actually win for sure. Because Darkseer can tie with Gyro. He can just creep skip. He can just cut the wave.
I actually think that might be a reason. Broodmother, because they banned Darkseer and X.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that might actually be the reason.
Oh, yeah, now they're
okay.
Yeah,
and there we go.
Totally forgot about Brood. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
because it was so weird. Why would they ban Darkseer? Then my brain was like, something is off. Then I realized IG they didn't ban Brood. So
yeah,
but they didn't know that when they banned Darkseer, right? They could have banned Brood over Wisp.
Yeah,
that's why it looked weird. Like the Axe ban makes perfect sense when you see the Brood pick, but it's just
it could be they're trying to set up the Brood. You know, they might be trying.
And then if they do ban the Brood and the Darkseer, it's like, okay, we basically traded one ban for one ban then. So it's not really a bad trade in either case. So.
But Secret does get their way with the Broodmother.
This is a problem for IG.
This is a big problem. They need supports that Co-op does okay. I say you don't exactly win the lane, but you can defend your tower basically. But it's difficult to sustain in the lane as Co-op against Brood in the long run. So that's not a long-term solution.
Yeah, I think it's better to put him in the mid, throw Luo on the Razor, and then try and have another way to deal with the Brood.
Bounty again, but Bounty is a bit worrisome though. Like, if you're even the game is even and you're able to get track, then Bounty is able to deal with Broodmother that way. But if you get roll over in the lane, because Bounty doesn't do anything in the lane against Brood, so that might be a problem. But another good factor about having the Bounty is they have strong lanes, right? They have co-op, so Bounty might be able to set up something in the other lanes.
I mean, we've seen the run like Bristol a fair amount. I think even with the Darkseer and the Axe banned out, there's still a fair amount of heroes that can deal with them.
There's still a couple of good heroes, like maybe Tide, but
Sand King, Tide, LC.
It's about the lineup they have though. What fits their lineup?
But they still, I think they want the co-op to lane against Brood because they want the Razor to go mid against Viper.
Yeah,
they don't want co-op versus Viper matchup. That's like the worst matchup.
Well, they can also put Luo on Queen of Pain. If they
they could run an offlane co-op.
Yeah, it depends on
I just think the Queen versus Brood matchup is it's not that good for it.
It's not that good, but it's also not awful. So if you have like one support that can help out a little bit in the start, give co-op a head start, then you could probably work around it. And, yeah, we'll see. Well, okay, now it's hard for co-op.
It's hard. This
is a problem for co-op.
This is Spirit Breaker, which means that the other lanes would have problems too. So like both sides have one roaming support, Bounty versus Spirit Breaker, but it will see who has the better lanes. And for now, I feel Secret has more flexibility in the lanes because Broodmother is a problem. They have to assign a dedicated hero for the end. You know, it's not fun to play against that with their lineup right now.
So at this point, they need to find someone to just fill that role.
I don't know about
hold Brood back. I mean, is that the situation IG?
They might need a support like something like a Sand King, some support that can deal with Brood. You know,
right.
It's just no matter what they pick, it's going to be an exceptional, stressful game because you constantly have to deal with Brood. There's constantly going to be Spirit Breaker charging your solos, and then you need to like, okay, so where's my support actually going to be? I can't protect mid and fight off Brood at the same time. And then, in addition to that, they have two solos in their own lanes, like Viper and Gyro, who are expected
to pick something that's self-sustained, you know, self-sufficient against the Brood. So you don't have the problem where the supports have to be here, they have to be in mid.
Good call, Ben.
Yeah.
Sick prediction. I would have never guessed that.
would you consider that self-sustained like against Brute?
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot.
It is.
actually.
So
Okay.
Especially from the Chinese teams. It's just leave Bristleback alone and focus on the other lanes. It's pretty much a 4-on-4 and a 1-on-1 in the
Yeah,
bottom.
but without the I.O, I think he might run into mana problems. Might want to get like sometimes you see players get an early bottle, like something to address that issue because you're up against Brute. Mana is always a thing that you're going to be constantly using in the lane against the
Right.
Brute lanes.
Yeah.
Okay, Bane being banned out again by Secret.
But in general, I think you want two heroes that can deal well with it. I guess Queen of Pain and Razor can win
Yeah, they are
versus-
like sort of okay
Yeah.
with the spam they have to deal with the Brute lanes. So I'd say all in all, their lineup at the moment seems alright against Brute. I mean, the cost obviously is alright.
So is there any hero that can make this lineup from Secret more nightmarish? Because you guys, every hero picked so far has just been getting progressively
Techies.
worse.
Nightmare.
Techies.
Oh my!
Man, you said nightmare.
Oh, if they actually do that, it's like that's the point. You're just like
Don't worry, it won't happen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
you don't even want to play the game. It's like whatever. We'll take the O2, but keep our morale high for our next
Yeah, there you
series.
go. that does sound like not a bad idea, actually.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. They're definitely not going to grab it.
Okay.
Okay,
CM.
that's actually strengthening the Brute mana pick a lot.
Yeah.
Aura. It's a huge difference. A Brute with Aura and without. Like you're actually able to dominate the lane much more with the Aura.
Even a Spirit Breaker, I think, with the aura.
Yeah,
is a
obviously it
pretty big-
helps. It helps in the early few levels where you have a very limited mana pool.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think their whole theme is like self-sufficient all three lanes and try and capitalize on
And
the
CM is like jungling.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm giving you mana support.
Yeah. There you go.
I am
Yeah, sure.
helping.
I remember Dota 1, it used to be a strat level Crystal Maiden to the 7 and then quote-unquote disconnect. Oh, we lost our Crystal Maiden. What a shame. We get more gold.
Number one strats right there. And then Lina being picked up for IG just to round things out. Doesn't sound like it's really going to change the dynamic too much.
A support that has nukes to deal with the Brute lanes, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of good in that sense, and they have another form of burst damage to kill stuff. So it's obviously a good thing to have that.
Okay, so let's assess the situation. Is it questionable at best, or is it just an absolute nightmare right now for IG? Winter, please let us know.
I think they have to be very cautious at dealing with the Brute. If the Brute gets out of control, they wouldn't be able to take care of the other lanes, and Spirit Breaker would be like charging left and right, top, center, whatnot. Yeah. Then the lanes would fall apart from them if that happens. So the Brute is a very key piece in this puzzle for Secret.
So things have swapped a little bit now. It's IG who has to watch out for the early game, whereas originally we were
Yeah.
suggesting that, hey, you should put the
They
aggression on
should
Team
be
Secret.
taking the initiative.
But yeah, now they
I mean,
actually just have
they
to
can
survive
still
in
take
order to
the
have a shot.
initiative with Bounty, don't get me wrong. So
But you could just tell in the draft that the Brute pick just threw them off.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could,
completely.
yeah, you
Like
could
they started
definitely see
taking
that.
way longer for the picks and bans, and it's like they need to repair constantly the draft.
Yeah.
How do we repair our draft so we're not in trouble?
Yeah,
and that's
definitely
always
threw
a
us
bad
for a
position
little
to
bit
be
of a loop too. So game 2, can IG survive the early game and then even try to get that win against Team Secret? We're about to find out.
Channel for your viewing pleasure or audio pleasure.
Nightmare
Here
techies.
for our game number 2 of Team Secret versus Invictus Gaming. It is the second round of the group's day 1.
I'm Wagamama, and this is Toby1 CSGO.
Hi!
The high started, and then he looks over.
I'm like, damn you, Waga! Such a troll. Such a troll. Yes, I'm a Valve boy.
Oh, did he get spotted? When he
yeah,
did
they
that?
saw him
Faith-
quickly.
Yeah, Faith was just barely spotted, so